I would say that technology has been very important for a long time. And I'm an older guy at this point. Technology is not always my friend either, but it's so important to leverage that technology to streamline processes, to make everything easier.
Hey everybody, it's CJ Bachman here in the Den. I am super excited for this episode today. We announced a partnership a while back with FieldEdge, but we actually have in the Den with us Jessie. Jessie, welcome to the Den. If you don't mind, can you give everybody a little bit of background on you and what you do with FieldEdge?
No, and thanks, CJ. We're super excited to be partners and super excited to be here today. So my name is Jessie Barrack. I have kind of 30-year history in the HVAC industry, home services and HVAC. And so my role now at FieldEdge is really partnerships, business development, enhancing the product that we offer through partnerships, and really making sure we offer a well-rounded package for our members. So been here about a year and having a great time.
That's great, Jessie. And I don't know if you know this about me, but even though I live in the world of digital marketing and the agency setting now, I actually spent over 8 years working in heating and air conditioning myself.
Oh, so, great. Awesome.
So trust me when I say I know the importance of having, great tools and great supports and vendors around you to really help make the magic happen. So speaking of that magic, let's get straight into it. FieldEdge is a great tool for businesses, specifically ones that want to streamline their operations and increase their profitability. But that could mean a lot to many different people. So tell us a little bit more specifically about what FieldEdge does and how it can benefit business owners.
Yeah, it's a great question. And at its core, we throw around terms like FSM or Field Service Management Tool, and not everyone really knows what that means. But at its core, what our product does is really take all of the things an HVAC or a plumbing or an electrical contractor does in a day, dispatching their techs, getting them to the right job with the right qualifications at the right time, managing their customer base and understanding who their customers are through a CRM, managing maintenance agreements and service agreements and all the complexity that comes with managing the day-to-day operations of a business and the cost and the controls and all the things that go with it. We take all of that and package it into one software that makes it much easier to manage the day-to-day. And I think equally as important is to grow and scale that business in a way that they couldn't maybe do if they were using pen and paper or some other of the software products that are out there. So that's what we do, and I think we do it really well, and it's a great way for us to really serve the industry.
And we know that businesses are run successfully from the inside out, right? You have to have great processes, great procedures, great things set up internally for your outward execution to go smoothly. How important is it for business owners to ensure that their internal systems are in place so that they can be profitable? So you talked about pen and paper, right? Things that they could be missing. How important is it for them to have the right processes in place?
Yeah, I could probably talk about this alone for an hour, because if you think about a technician who's filling out a service invoice in the field, and does that service invoice even make it back to the office, and who remembers to bill it, and do we even collect the money? Understanding that, what parts were used, did the technician fill it out properly? There's just so many things that can go wrong with pen and paper. And I think that's even at the most basic level. When we get into the complexities of running a home services business, and are all my people selling to the capacity that they could sell? Are they, is the revenue that they're generating the right amount? Are they upselling my customers? Are they offering, additional solutions? And how do we understand that? And the answer is you really don't understand it unless you have the capability of tracking all of that and the reporting and automating that. So really, from timesheets to revenue per tech per hour, is just all of that needs to be tracked in order to run a successful home services business. And the software allows you to do that in a way that you couldn't before.
So what I hear you saying is you don't have to wait to the end of the day for when the technicians show back up with their manila folder, sitting it down in a big pile of chicken scratch, trying to go through and say who paid, who didn't pay, who gets invoiced, who didn't get invoiced. You mean there's a way to make it happen live time in the moment?
Yeah, it's so funny. And if you think about technology now, everything's really like that. But, the technician can go diagnose the system, create an invoice, collect the payment right through their mobile device, right there in the home. And so no more of that worrying about whether receivables happen. They're able to do that right at the point of sale. They're able to show that customer the solution on an invoice. This is how much it's going to cost. By the way, if that customer has a maintenance agreement, the software will automatically track any discounts associated with that so that we're billing the customer the right amount right at point of sale and collecting the money when we need to. All of that goes away with the technology, and it really does make it a lot easier.
It definitely does. And here at One SEO, we deal with a lot of different home service companies, and they're very different in terms of size, geography, location. They're on different paths. They have different goals and different objectives. So we try to make sure that in our toolkit here that we have available to our clients, that we're able to partner with people like you, FieldEdge, and other organizations, so that when they need a solution, we can help them find the solution that fits best for them. And it's super exciting. Like, we love new partnerships. We love, pairing our services with software that's really going to help maximize. But can you talk a little bit about how FieldEdge coupled with One SEO or other digital marketing services can really help in 2023 with pushing success forward?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And it's really where my job comes into play with FieldEdge. And it's finding partners like One SEO, who does a great job of getting the phone to ringing, getting customers in the door, and managing customer lifecycle marketing, and all the things that you do well from a pay-per-click standpoint. But getting those into the software to manage capacity, for example, or using my entire customer base to identify target markets and how we get into those deeper. The partnership, because we have a partnership, it makes both of us a little better and able to serve that home services contractor a little more. For the home service contractor, it just really makes them able to dial in their marketing and their expense, but then turn that into trackable sales and profitability on the back end. So it's fun for me to do this job because I can identify really creative solutions for our mutual contractor members that just enhances their business, and again helps them be more profitable and scale faster. So
absolutely. And there's a lot of people, and I'm going to kind of go a little bit off on a tangent here. I hope you don't mind, but there's a lot of people that are afraid of technology. They're afraid of any sort of artificial intelligence or any machine-based, learning items. And what I try to tell people, especially our clients, and what we're preaching to our employees here, is that the more that we can spend on actual strategy, consultation, and coming up with new ideas, the better it is for us. And that's what technology like this does for home service companies, right? You don't have to spend time flipping through that paperwork. You don't have to call that technician to ask what he wrote because you can't read the handwriting. You don't have to have those awkward conversations with homeowners in which you thought they didn't pay, but they did give a check. The check just hasn't made it back to the office yet. So there's a lot of reasons to, and embrace technology. For me, this year is really truly all about looking how we can take things to the next level. And I believe technology is a big piece of that, because we can't remove the human element, but humans need to be doing the things that are going to make a difference. For example, one of the things that we do for a lot of our clients here is we listen to phone calls. We want to be able to help the client on their business side too. We can send all the leads to a client in the world, but if the CSRs on their end are not handling those calls appropriately, if they're not communicating well, that's a problem. But in a lot of organizations, you don't have time to do that because you're too busy going through piles and piles of paperwork or trying to understand spreadsheets. So do you, we do a final roar where we just want to leave everybody with something. Tell me a little bit about how important you think technology is going to be for 2023 and why businesses should really, truly focus on it.
I think it's a great question and a great concept. And I would say that technology has been very important for a long time. And I'm an older guy at this point. Technology is not always my friend either, but it's so important to leverage that technology to streamline processes, to make everything easier. because we have a lot of pressures. I think we all thought in 19 and 20 and 21 that things were going to get easier after the pandemic, and business has only gotten harder to do. The macro environment is really putting pressures on us, running our day-to-day business, having enough employees to do it. All of these things speak to the fact that we need technology as that added base to allow us to do more business and run faster and make changes on the fly and do those things. So I think it's important in 23, maybe more important than it was in 21 and 20, but I think it's going to become ever more important, not even just to grow, but just to maintain the current status quo in what is becoming a really crazy environment. Every year it gets worse, it seems like. So.
I mean, we could say that it gets worse. It gets harder. It gets more interesting. There's a lot more, convolution in the waters out there. But it's partnerships like this, and it's organizations like you that are solving problems, that are really looking for more solutions, better solutions, paired with organizations like us that truly do care about our clients and want to put them first. That's what's going to make the difference. And I think in 2023, you're going to see a lot more of it. And for the audience out there, Jessie Barrack, thank you so much for joining us. SVP, Business Development at FieldEdge. We really appreciate it. And I want you guys to understand, this isn't a sales pitch. There is a product solution out there for just about every problem you're going to have in your organization. Do your research, do your homework, consult people, call your agency, call One SEO. We will share the solutions with you and hopefully find the one that is going to help you grow and scale your business. And like Jessie said, it's more important not just scaling, but being able to sustain and maintain the growth patterns that you've been on and be able to properly service your clients the way that they need to be serviced now here in 2023. So Jessie, thank you again for joining us. If anybody has any questions, we are always here for you. We can connect you to Jessie and his team as well. And here, look forward to seeing you guys next time here in the den.